is calling 2022 CR 10754, State of Texas versus Epifano Mercado. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Ruben Herrera for the state.
Dennis
Defense.
Callahan for defense.
And are you Mr. Mercado?
Yes, ma'am.
Charged with the offense of assault, family choking, strangulation, second. That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Mercado, why should I accept this plea? It seems that you have anger issues.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Sometimes I do, but I'm learning to control it.
All right, you're not doing a good job. And who is the name you have tattooed with the bunny rabbit? What is that all about?
Where at, man?
On your neck? Who is that on your neck tattoo?
This?
Yeah.
That's my baby mama.
You mean the mother of your child?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have your child's name tattooed on your body?
Yes, ma'am.
And who else name do you have tattooed on your body?
Mom,
All right.
my son.
Yes. And are you still with the mother of your child? Really, if you're going to do name tattoos on your body, probably the only safe bet are children and mothers. Although I'm reading in the police report where your mother kicked you out of your home. Well, her house. That's yes.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
that true?
Yes, ma'am.
So you ended up at the complainant's house and you all had only been dating for a month. I don't know why she would move you into her house and you all only been dating for a month. And do you realize that on this day, you ruined her child's date for that day? Because she took her phone to the mother. That's what it says in here. And then you wanted to scroll through the call list to see if she was cheating.
Ma'am, none of that happened like that, man.
Well, here's the thing about relationships. If you think someone is cheating on you, there's no need to do any investigation. Obviously, there's trust issues in the relationship. So you have a choice. Either you leave because somebody's cheating on you, or either you accept it. Now, I know you were in a situation of not leaving because you had no place to go because your mother had kicked you out.
Ma'am, I had places to go, ma'am, and it did not happen like that.
Well, I mean, you still committed a family violence. You need to find a place of your own, get into a relationship with yourself. And then once you are where you want to be, then maybe, and work on yourself, then maybe you can be in a relationship with somebody else because you're not ready. It's the truth of the matter. You need to get your own place. And I always tell people to get an orchid. And you know why I say get an orchid? I take these cases seriously, but for relationships, an orchid is a good plant to have. You know why? Because when you get them from the store, they have all the flowers on them. They're beautiful. They're great. And you get them home and then the blooms fall off and you can't get the bloom again. And orchids, you got to put them in the right amount of sunlight, water them the right way. You need not be in a relationship until you can get an orchid and get it to bloom again, because orchids take patience. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And I know you have attitude with me, but I'm telling you the truth. When you move in with somebody and it's not your place, you really don't have a place to call home. I'm going to find you guilty, sentence you to 7 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, take in consideration County Court Cause number 691509. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Lois Pena. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, because it's a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question of what a weapon and ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. We can go off record. How many children do you have?
3 men.
What are they, boys, girls?
2 girls, 1 boy.
All right, how old are they?
18, 15, and 9.
All right. 15-year-old girl or boy?
Girl.
9-year-old girl or boy?
Boy.
And the other one is a boy or girl? All right, let me explain something to you. And this is what people don't realize when they're in relationships. Children imitate what they see. So you have a daughter, and I know you don't want anybody putting their hands on your daughter in anger, do you?
No.
Let me just tell you, with girls, when they see their father, who they think loves their mother, do that, they assume that's the way you show love. So they end up in a relationship with somebody who's just like you, who will put their hands on them, and you'll be all upset. And boys, when they see their father doing that, they will think, oh, this is how we show love. And they may end up with somebody who has a father or a brother or somebody who's not going to tolerate that. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're going to have to be a better example for your daughter and a better example for your son. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
2023 CR 0905, State of Texas versus Arnulfo Esqueda. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense?
Sean Sheffield, Your Honor.
Are you Mr. Esqueda?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, you received all the discovery. Did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it? Showing you what's inside entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Judge.
Mr. Esqueda, I'm showing you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review this document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of evading arrest detention in the vehicle? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find that there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, sir.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, just ask the court to follow his recommendations. He has no prior felonies, Your Honor. I would just ask the court to grant deferred.
All right. Are you employed?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do?
I work for Amazon.
Amazon?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you place the packages gently down or do you throw them?
Well, I'm a learning ambassador, so I scan people like times and all this other good stuff.
What is a learning ambassador?
It's like I have my people that I have a group of people that I work with, and I make sure their times are good, getting them out, my packages out on that day, so it'll be delivered.
People always wonder why I ask these questions, but guess what? If ever I'm on a game show and they ask me what a learning ambassador is, I will know. The other people will not know. So that's why I ask these questions. Do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am.
What are their ages?
I got an 11-year-old, I got a 4-year-old, I got a 4-month-old, I have a baby on.
Oh, wow. And do your children live with you?
Yes.
All right. So why are you doing this nonsense?
At the point of time, I wasn't in the right state of mind. I was going from house to house. I was, basically living in my car at one point in time. I found myself,
Well, now you know.
For friends, and now I know that I don't have friends when they get serious.
You know what my grandmother would always say?
My grandma used to tell me I have a group of friends, but when something gets wrong, then friends are not going to be there. And everything my grandma told me is always true.
Well, my grandmother would always tell us that, and I'm going to quote her. She said, "Ain't nobody your friend but Jesus Christ and sometimes your mom."
Yes.
Because sometimes moms don't like you.
And unfortunately, I don't have mine.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Mine's been gone for like 20 years. I was like 10 years old when my mom passed away.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's one who committed suicide.
Oh,
Rough.
yeah. Well, you're going to have to make changes for your children. You understand? And I hope you learn from this that you can't outrun an officer on a bicycle when you're in a vehicle. Obviously, that can't be done because you were not able to do it.
Actually did for like 2 years.
All right. So it's going to be a $500 fine probated, regular UAs, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, 120 hours community service restitution, parenting classes with raindrops and rainbows. Once you complete that, that'll satisfy the 120 hours of community service restitution, proof of employment within 15 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. We'll do field visits for 2 months. If there are no issues after 2 months, probation, you can discontinue those as you see fit. There's to be proof of employment within 15 days. No employment as a home health. Oh, I already said that. Huh. All right, probation. Is there anything else he needs? Anything else you need from the court to be successful? All right. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you sign it and did you understand it?
Yes.
All right. Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. You understand? All right. We're off the record. In this court, to be successful on probation, communication is key. So make sure you talk to your probation officer. If there are any issues and you don't feel they're being addressed, you can always come to court. And congratulations on the new baby.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge.
Okay, so you think animation is for children? What? Oh, I feel very good about animation. Okay. I went to the theater. The first Transformers movie that played at the theater was starring Judd Hirsch. And of course, I cried. And you know why tears were in my eyes as a child? Because they killed Megatron. I was like, no, not Megatron. And then they made him into Galvatron, and then the whole series just went downhill if they made him into Galvatron. But now that I don't think I'm going to go see. It's been very disappointing. Yeah, but it's just a bunch of action. I don't know. I may see it because you know how you start a series and you got to see it to the end. So I may go see it just to see it to the end. Now, Fast 10, I don't need to see that to the end. But I read that too, but you know what they told me? Somebody who went to go see it said Fast 10, it's not the end. It was just to set you up for the next one. But you know when I think they jumped the shark, at least for me, when there was a scene, and I just watched it on TV, I didn't go see it at the theater. He is in the frozen tundra, right? And somebody fires a missile at him that's going across the ground. He opens the door and pushes it to the side. I'm like, and some of the other stuff that happened, I had completely forgot about it. Like where I think he catches Letty from a helicopter or something. And then he's on the back of a truck and he pulls a helicopter down with the I had completely forgot about that. I mean, isn't that worse than, didn't Fonzie swim on top of a shark or something? He jumped the shark, yeah. I'm like, you know what? You and I and some of the people over here are the only people who know about that. That tells you how old we're getting. Everybody is like, what? Yeah, who is Fonzie? I'm like, ugh. It was.
They're doing Gremlins in animation.
And they need to leave Gremlins alone.
Kids with a cartoon.
But I did see a guy riding on a bicycle with a gremlin on the front, and it was moving. It was so weird. But then I also saw a lady jogging and she was smoking at the same time. Who jogs and smokes a cigarette?